Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has conducted a small shuffle of his ministers before he's heading off for a cabinet retreat to plot strategy for the resumption of Parliament. Toronto area MP Omar Alghabra took over the transport portfolio, which has seen 10 months of turbulence since the pandemic prompted a travel industry collapse and controversy over refunds for flight cancellations. Jim Carr also returned to cabinet as minister without portfolio and special representative to the Prairies. Francois-Philippe Champagne has been named Bain's replacement as the Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry. Taking over from Champagne, who was not in the portfolio long, Marc Garneau is assuming the role of Foreign Affairs Minister and Command at Global Affairs Canada. The cabinet retreat is a 4-day session to take place over the next 2 weeks, and it's to focus on what more the government needs to do to manage the pandemic, which continues to rage across the country, including ways to accelerate the rollout of vaccines. The retreat is taking place as the government prepares for the resumption of Parliament on January the 25th, and what is bound to be a more aggressively partisan environment. Ford addressed the province today with new measures to address COVID-19.
Well, good afternoon. Effective immediately, Ontario is declaring a state of emergency. We expect this to remain in place for at least 28 days. Further, I'm issuing a stay-at-home order effective Thursday at 12:01 a.m. Under this order, everyone must stay home and only go out for essential trips to pick up groceries or go to medical appointments. Based on the advice from the Chief Medical Officer of Health, schools in Windsor-Essex, Peel, Toronto, York, and Hamilton will remain closed for in-person learning until February the 10th. By January 20th, the Chief Medical Officer of Health will provide recommendations for the remaining regions. As I've said from the beginning, when it comes to our children, I will not take any unnecessary risks. Folks, there will be soon some really
Mayor Christian Provenzano addressed the community before last night's council meeting. He noted that there is a 10 to 14 delay from when people test positive to when the event happened where they contracted the virus. He publicly supported the decision by Algoma Public Health in regards to schools and thanked teachers, early childhood educators, and daycare workers for being daily heroes.
And we saw a recent decision by Algoma Public Health with respect to education. I wanted to speak to both of those things. With regard to the first, it's important we all recognize that the cases that we're seeing reported right now are because of or due to occurrences about 10 to 14 days ago. So there would be a lag from when you see a case to when the case would have activity would have led to that case. A lot of the cases that we're seeing in our community are close contact, and some of them are unknown origin. So one of the takeaways from that is that we can control these numbers to the degree that we can improve them. And we can improve them by our own conduct on a day-to-day basis.
During the council meeting on January the 11th, an application was approved for a retail space to be built on Second Line near the airport. The applicant, John Carroll, requested to add a building on the property of New North Greenhouses with the purpose of being a retail shop. The cannabis suggestion had Councillor Scott questioning the location as the airport is a prominent place for people to enter our city. He was drawing a line to a property purchased at 89 Hudson Street last year. The mayor used a similar argument to purchase a property because of its zoning as a potential strip club in the future. The city approved Mr. Carroll's application for the building on the property. There are provincial laws and regulations that need to be followed before a cannabis shop could ever materialize at the location. A laboratory in Hamilton has apologized after 31 people received incorrect COVID-19 test results because of what it called a processing error. The Hamilton Regional Laboratory Medicine Program says everyone who received incorrect results has been contacted and the error has been addressed. Hamilton Health Services, which operates the lab with St. Joseph Healthcare Hamilton, says that 16 people who tested positive initially received a negative result. And it says 15 people who didn't have COVID-19 were told that they did. The tests processed at the lab were collected in Hamilton and Burlington and other surrounding areas on December 30th and 31st. Hamilton's public health unit says the error in its daily case counts has since been altered to reflect the accurate information. On January the 11th, officers with patrol services charged 28-year-old Brandon Tustin with impaired driving, alcohol, and drugs. At 3:23 p.m., officers conducted a traffic stop on Great Northern Road. Upon approaching the vehicle, officers detected the smell of cannabis. Officers asked the accused to step out of the vehicle, and he refused by rolling up his window and refusing to exit the vehicle. Officers were able to de-escalate the situation, and the accused exited the vehicle. He was given a standardized field sobriety test and performed poorly. Officers developed grounds to believe his ability to operate a motor vehicle was impaired by drugs. He was arrested and charged with impaired driving, alcohol and drugs, and resisting or obstructing a peace officer. He is scheduled to appear in court on February the 22nd. Over the weekend, Sault Ste. Marie Fire Service crews responded to 2 calls of carbon monoxide related incidents within the city. Upon arrival, crews discovered notable amounts of carbon monoxide in each residence. The residents were notified of the presence of CO in their homes by working carbon monoxide alarms. With the winter season upon us, it's important that all fuel burning appliances in the home be serviced annually by licensed contractors to ensure they are working properly. Although snowfall has been limited thus far, it is important to remember that when snowfall amount increase, all residents should ensure that vents for the home are cleared and cleaned to prevent carbon monoxide buildup within the home. There were no injuries to report from either incident.
Well, I don't know about you, but it still feels like March to me, but January is going to show up in about 24 to 48 hours. I'll give you all those details coming up.
Past year we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
We can be hurt. We can be bruised. We can be broken. Slowed down, confused, and even numbed. But we can't be stopped. And we can't be defeated. Because we've got more fight in us. More breakthroughs in us, and more people who care about people in us. The unknown, it's scary, but so is our will. Our will to research, our will to educate, and our will to save lives. See, we're built on a foundation that's strong, our mission unwavering, and together we'll beat as one.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, not a bad day today if you like some freezing drizzle and cloud conditions, but that will actually dissipate for the evening. Come back again for overnight tonight. We can see temperatures around -2, cloudy with coolish. It's going to feel cool out there because of the slight wind, and we could see some flurries. Again, really not going to amount to anything just yet. We'll take a look at the overnight lows. Again, really, you wouldn't know this was January with highs around, or lows around -2, -1, -3 in the district, where we could be seeing normally around -20. So we're doing pretty good still for being the halfway mark in the month. We'll take a look now at the satellite shot. This is our weather maker coming in for late Thursday into Friday. This is an Alberta Clipper. They're normally good for 5 to 10 centimeters. We could start off with some rain. We'll show you exactly what's going on with the systems map. And we'll see this, there it is right there, the low coming in. Where is it? There you are. That's the Alberta Clipper. So again, it's going to start off with some rain, maybe some drizzle, freezing drizzle, transition over to snow for Friday night. And again, we could see anywhere from 5 to 10 centimeters. The cold air, again, is still being locked up. And the good news there is that we're not going to actually see that really cold air come down just yet. So we're going to still be on the mild side, if you will, though it will feel a little cooler on the weekend. We'll take a look at the 3-day forecast. For Wednesday, again, just another kind of a gray, kind of a boring day. 2 degrees though for your high. Snow starts late day Thursday. Temperatures about +1, dropping to -1 for the overnight. Friday, again, we're going to see those flurries lingering and temperatures holding steady at +1. For Saturday, we see a little more snow. That could be lake effect, and that's a big question right now because the temperatures are going to be dropping during the overnight, as you can see. And the temperatures during the daytime are also going to be dropping slightly. We're not going to see those really, really cold temperatures just yet. And the good news is February and March also seem above normal temperatures. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. That's your weather for right now. Colette is standing by with more news.
The goat provided fertilizer. The fertilizer provided the crops. The crops provided sustainable income. The income provided education. The education provided a lifetime of opportunity. It starts with your click.
When it comes to peace of mind, think KC Security Services, a locally owned and operated security service, voted the best security company in Sault Ste. Marie. We specialize in mobile patrols and alarm responses. At KC Security, we also offer stationary guard services for commercial and residential properties, events, and more. Available 24 hours per day, 365 days a year.
KC Security Services, where peace of mind is a matter of choice, your one-stop shop for all your security needs.
As the NBA is expected to review videos circulating on social media of a maskless Kyrie Irving at what appears to be a family birthday party, there is no belief the Brooklyn Nets guard will return to the team's lineup this week. Irving was already ruled out of his 4th straight game Tuesday night against Denver, and sources say that at a minimum, he's expected to miss Wednesday's game against New York and Saturday's game against Orlando. His absence has been attributed to personal reasons. The president of the Tokyo Olympic Organizing Committee tried on Tuesday to reassure the Japanese public that the postponed games will open in just over 6 months. 2 polls in the last few days have shown just over 80% of Japanese people surveyed thinking the Olympics should be canceled or postponed, or believe they should not take place as COVID-19 cases surge in Japan. In what was billed as a New Year's address, Mori gave a little pep talk aimed at the July 23rd opening of the Olympics. He added it is absolutely impossible to put off the games again because many officials who have played a key role in the preparations are loaned from other organizations. Mori said Japan would determine whether to admit overseas fans during the Olympics and Paralympics, given the COVID-19 situation in the coming months. Organizers and the International Olympic Committee have repeated for months that the delayed Olympics will be able to open during the pandemic, but they have given few specifics and have said detailed plans will be revealed in the spring. Skate Canada.
Where local news matters.